Hey YouTube, this knife right here is the Knives of Alaska Featherlight Folding Hunter. As you can see, it is a drop point. Blade length, according to my measure, is 3.1 inches. See, it's a full flat grind, opening slot. It is D2 tool steel, bead blast, G10 handle scales, and olive drab. The liner lock mechanism. Alright, and let's do one quick size comparison with a small, fairly popular knife, Kershaw Leek. Alright, as you can see, these are very comparable in size. Alright, so that's why I say this knife would be very handy, very easy to carry, around the same size as the Kershaw Leek. The handle is even smaller. Alright, so there's your size comparison. Close up of the features of this blade. Right, you see the G10 handle scales. They are smooth. Cut out there, help you open it. Open pillar construction. And you see the centering there, slightly to the right. And you see the very large pivot screw. Stop pin there. And now opening is via that opening slot. Kind of like a spider hole, and it opens fairly easily. You heard it click open. There is the lockup. Now it is at about 15%, very early lockup, so that's good. As you use it, it'll go over, so it's good if it starts early. There is no blade play, and the lockup is secure. Now it is made in the USA. And as I said, it is D2 tool steel. Now that is not a stainless steel, but it is fairly corrosion resistant. Just technically it does not qualify as stainless. So, it's close to stainless, but not stainless. Unfortunately, this has a bead blast, which I don't usually prefer because that kind of makes it a little more prone to rust. And you can see the idea of this blade. It's very narrow. Obviously, they're trying to keep this lightweight, handy, convenient, right? Full flat grind. Not unlike a Swiss Army knife blade. I notice it does have the jimping there. That's in case you want to use a scalpel grip, right? Which has a variety of uses, from opening packages, cutting pizza. No, it's also, well, it's called a scalpel grip because it's also how you could sometimes hold a scalpel. See, it has jimping on the liner, very easy to disengage. Close this like so. Opening with the left hand can be done, not as easy because the cutout is on that side, but I am left-handed and I don't have trouble with it. Now, does the blade arrive sharp? Oh. My bad. It is surprisingly sharp for such a narrow, blade. It was surprisingly sharp. I wouldn't say it's like razor, but it's not too shabby. Now, I am actually reviewing this knife as an everyday carry knife, what we call EDC. And what I mean by that is a knife that you would carry day in and day out for light utility tasks. Alright, in my mind, if you're going to do heavy cutting, use a fixed blade. If I'm carrying a folder, by nature, it's mainly for lighter tasks. And so I want something that's extremely lightweight. This is very light, very slim, compact. It's not going to weigh you down at all, right? And that's what I want in an everyday carry folding blade. As far as using it as a hunting knife, me personally, I would not. As a game skinning knife, I wouldn't want to use a folding knife for anything messy because it's a bitch to clean. Right, and there's better small fixed blades that will be a lot better at skinning I've never skinned game, but I have dissected animals, all right, in college, so I know I know all about how to remove organs and layers of tissue and all that. And yeah, for that kind of stuff, I would use like a caper knife. You know what a caper knife is? It's kind of like a scalpel like fixed blade or a large skinner. So I personally wouldn't use this as a hunting folder, but as I said, I would definitely recommend this as an everyday carry, just light utility tasks type of knife. I think it would excel at that. Alright, YouTube, well, there's your closer look at this Knives of Alaska knife, you know, quick and dirty and to the point, like I try to be. Long story short, I wouldn't really use it as an outdoorsy hunting knife, but I would use it as basically, it's almost like a Swiss Army knife, but with one-handed opening and a nice locking mechanism. Just a handy all-around knife for a moderate price. Hope you enjoyed the review. Stay tuned for many more. I'm out.